Hi there. Welcome to BHS Africa Podcast, where we explore marine research, climate action, and local knowledge towards the advancement of our blue planets. For we believe the more you learn about our oceans, especially the Indian Ocean, the more you'll feel inspired to protect these spaces. For you cannot love what you do not know, and you cannot protect what you do not love. So learn, love, and then protect. My name is Julian, aka Jules, and I'm a marine scientist, environmental planner, researcher, and I am very passionate about the ocean and our climate. So I'll be bringing you so many stories around that spaces. Karibu sana, and I hope you get to learn something or to take home something with you. Hi there. Welcome back to today's episode on BHS Africa Pod. My name is Julian Sitemba. I'm a marine scientist, environmental planner, climate communicator, and a passionate advocate for ocean literacy in Africa. Last week, I attended a powerful IPCC side event here in Nairobi. It was hosted at the University of Nairobi campus. This was a public lecture by the chair of IPCC, Professor Skea. The event itself is a part of the 20th ordinary session of AMCEN 20, which AMCEN stands for African Ministerial Conference on the Environment. This event was running all week at the UNEP complex in Gigiri, and the session was led by the government of Libya. So I just want to share some reflections on what I learned and why it matters to all of us, especially those of us working in climate justice, marine science, youth engagement, and policy. So karibu sana, and let's get into this. Here's a quick recap about IPCC. So IPCC stands for Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. The organization was founded in 1988 by the United Nations Environment Programme and the World Meteorological Organization, so UNEP and WMO. Its purpose is solely to provide policymakers with regularly scientifically backed assessments on climate change. So it looks at risks, impacts, and then offers solutions. IPCC does not conduct original research. It reviews and synthesizes thousands of scientific studies that are already in the public domain to give a clear picture of the global state of climate knowledge. IPCC makes no policy recommendations. It just amalgamates science and literature to make recommendations to policymakers. The structure of the organization is that it has 3 working groups. Working Group 1 is named as the physical science basis, and it looks at how our climate is changing. It then looks at why and then offers future projections. Working Group 2 focuses on impacts, adaptation, and vulnerability. So it looks at who is affected and how can we adapt. Working Group 3 looks at the mitigations for climate change. So what can be done and how can we reduce emissions. There's so many other outputs from IPCC. We have so many special reports like the 1.5 degrees Celsius report, the Oceans and Cryosphere report, and the Climate Change and Cities report. IPCC also has what we call methodology reports. So it gives recommendations on how countries can measure emissions. There's a methodology report on short-lived climate forces, and another one on CDR, or carbon dioxide removal technologies, so including utilization, storage, and technical guidelines on updating the 1994 guidelines on climate change impacts and adaptations, the TGIA. So that's like a rough view on what the process looks like for IPCC. We had the privilege of hearing from Professor James Skea. He's the current chair of the IPCC at the public lecture at the University of Nairobi. So he walked us through the 7th assessment report cycle and how it's coming together. The process still has 3 working groups covering science, impacts, and mitigation. So IPCC follows at least 10 steps to deliver the much anticipated assessment reports. So there is scoping, there's author selection, which have both happened, and now the process is on drafting, and it will also include several reviews which take the bulk of the process. After the reviews, there will be approval where governments and policymakers must approve each line in their assessment report before we go to publication and outreach. So a quick overview of where we are currently. The 7th assessment report has brought together 800 scientists. It's so massive. And of the 800, 11 are from Kenya. The process will take about 3 years. There will be intense review, approvals, and then finally publication. So one of the biggest challenges that the process is struggling with is the fact that we have a huge volume of literature. Over 5,000 publications, both new and old. And the current assessment methods genuinely need updating. If we could find a way of incorporating AI into the analysis, that would be great. So that really struck me. It's a reminder that science is growing fast, and our assessment tools need to evolve just as quickly, especially for regions like Africa. So a theme that was coming out and that was emphasized is the fact that Africa contributes the least to global greenhouse gas emissions, most of which in our key list comes from land use and land use change. But despite this, we are already feeling the impacts in very extreme ways. We have way hotter weathers, our rainfalls are feeling heavier and going on for long. Our droughts are also prolonged, affecting agriculture, food production, and coastal ecosystems. So our marine systems are generally under threat. Coral bleaching, there's biodiversity loss, food insecurity, fisheries are shrinking, and all of this are linked to warming seas and extreme weather events. In the just concluded assessment report 6 that has over 10,000 pages and weighs 30 kilograms, Working Group 2 that handles impacts, adaptation, and vulnerability has the longest report. This is where themes like biodiversity, our oceans, climate risks are all deeply explored. Ocean risks are real. We have phenomena like coral bleaching, sea surface temperature changes that result in things like coral bleaching, sea level rise, fisheries collapse, and food insecurity in coastal regions happening frequently. As a marine scientist, this is where I implore other marine scientists to contribute the most. Currently, the writing team for Assessment Report 7 is already in place. We cannot change the authorship or whoever goes into the lead author or authoring positions. However, as scientists, both early career scientists and experienced scientists, we can still contribute to the process as reviewers or as observers. The IPCC team is actively calling for more ocean and marine experts, especially from Africa, to join the process at whatever capacity. This is a clear invitation for marine scientists like me or like you. Get into the process and do what you can. The plenary Q&A session was absolutely rich. Here are some of the questions that stuck with me. Question number 1. How is IPCC planning to communicate its findings to all levels of society? This is the kind of gap that BHS Africa is aiming to fill. We want to make climate and ocean science specifically accessible to all. The second question, how do we ensure that we have a just transition in the green and blue economy without maladaptations, especially when IPCC is consistently giving recommendations from what they've already gathered in science? This question hit home. And especially for communities that rely on small-scale fisheries and marine ecosystems, we need to figure out how we can make this more inclusive. The third question that really had my light bulb going on was, should Africa have its own science think tanks? Professor Lukorito Cromwell, who's the chair of Working Group 2, suggested in this idea of having what we call regional synthesis or champion centers to localize and apply climate science but for Africa. That's something I believe in deeply, and maybe many more organizations could grow into such platforms one day. If you want to get involved in the IPCC process as a reviewer, contributor, or observer, or you just want to learn more, check the links in the description box below for more information on how you can participate. And if you're passionate about ocean education, follow BHS Africa Pod and let's build ocean literacy together. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for caring. And as always, learn, love, and protect. I'm your host, Julian, and it's ciao for now. Arrivederci. So a lot needs to be done, urgently. But what is really pressing today is that we need to advocate for the move to net zero. This means that we need to get to a point where the world is not producing carbon dioxide at all. And if that's not possible, let's then try to shift more towards clean energy. For Africa, we need to transform how we use our land. And we also need to promote climate justice. Justice in the sense that for those who are more disadvantaged, let's give them the tools that they need to come out of the climate crisis. Currently, there's a lot of literature that needs to be reviewed and assessed for it to contribute into the IPCC process. So let's find a way of making that possible. And finally, if we can all shift towards clean energy, I don't know what clean means, but in the sense that what you're using to power your everyday life does not affect the climate in a way that is disastrous at the end. So those are some of the few things that we can start doing pole pole. Pole pole means slowly, as we are advancing towards a more cleaner planet, a less polluted planet, and a less polluted ocean for those of us working in the blue economy. So this event brought home to me 2 things. Number 1, Africa cannot just be a data point in climate reports. We must be co-authors. The second thing is that our stories, our science, and our solutions belong in these global conversations. So to every young scientist, educator, or climate storyteller, your work matters. Find this place where your passion meets purpose, and then speak up. That's my parting shots. If you want to get involved in the IPCC process as a reviewer, contributor, or observer, or you just want to learn more, check the links in the description box below for more information on how you can participate. And if you're passionate about ocean education, follow BHS Africa Pod and let's build ocean literacy together. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for caring. And as always, learn, love, and protect. I'm your host, Julian, and it's ciao for now. Arrivederci.